What if I told you that the green card sitting in your wallet right now, the one you waited years for, sacrificed for, prayed for, could disappear faster than you ever imagined? Not because you committed some obvious crime, not because you stopped paying taxes, not because you abandoned your life here, but because of a mistake you didn't even know was a mistake. Every single year, lawful permanent residents, people who have lived in the United States for 10, 15, even 20 years, find themselves in deportation proceedings over issues they thought were minor, resolved, or long forgotten. And here's the part that should really get your attention. Most of them had no idea they were at risk until it was too late. If you hold a green card, a work visa, or any form of legal immigration status in the United States, what we're about to cover could quite literally protect your future. Because today, we're talking about 5 critical mistakes that can destroy your legal status, even if you believe you've done everything right. This is not about fear. This is about preparation. This is about making sure your American dream stays intact. The immigration landscape has changed dramatically. Enforcement is faster, reviews are stricter, and decisions that once might have been overlooked can now trigger immediate removal proceedings. So stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what puts your status at risk, and more importantly, what you can do right now to protect yourself and your family. Let's begin with the first major threat: serious criminal convictions. And this is where things get complicated and dangerous. There's a term in immigration law you need to understand: aggravated felony. Now, here's the shocking part. An aggravated felony under immigration law does not necessarily mean your state court labeled it a felony. Let that sink in. You could be charged in state court with a misdemeanor. You could pay a fine. You might never spend a single day in jail. You walk away thinking the matter is closed. But under federal immigration law, that same offense could be classified as an aggravated felony. And once immigration authorities apply that label, everything changes. The immigration system operates under federal rules that are completely separate from your local criminal court. What seems minor at the state level can become catastrophic at the federal immigration level. Offenses that may fall into this category include theft, even if the amount stolen was small; fraud, even if it seemed minor; certain assault charges, even when no serious injury occurred; threats, intimidation, or conduct considered violent under federal definitions. The key issue is not how much jail time you served or whether you served any time at all. Immigration law focuses on the nature of the offense itself. Let me give you a real-world scenario. Imagine you've been a green card holder for 15 years. You own a home. Your children were born here. You have a stable job, a solid reputation, and deep roots in your community. One night, something goes wrong. An argument escalates. Maybe there's pushing. Maybe you're accused of taking something. The police are called. The prosecutor offers you a deal: plead guilty to a misdemeanor, pay a fine, complete some community service, avoid trial, move on with your life. It feels like the practical choice. So you accept. You complete the conditions, you move forward, you assume the issue is over. Months later, maybe years later, you apply to renew your green card. Or you travel abroad and try to re-enter the United States, or immigration authorities conduct a routine background review. Suddenly, you receive a notice to appear in immigration court. That misdemeanor conviction? It's now classified as an aggravated felony under federal immigration law. And once that happens, you could face mandatory detention and nearly automatic deportation. Your years of lawful residence, your U.S. citizen children, your mortgage, your career, none of it may protect you. This is why the advice I'm about to give you is critical. If you are ever arrested for anything, you need 2 attorneys, not 1. You need a criminal defense attorney who understands your state charges, but you also need an immigration attorney who understands how those charges will be interpreted under federal immigration law. Before you accept any plea deal, before you admit anything, before you sign any agreement. A deal that looks harmless in criminal court can be devastating in immigration court. Now let's talk about the second major threat, and this one is even less forgiving: drug charges. Many people believe that minor drug possession won't seriously affect their immigration status. That belief is dangerously wrong. Under immigration law, drug offenses trigger some of the harshest consequences in the entire system. Possession of cocaine, any amount; heroin, even a trace amount; methamphetamines, ecstasy, controlled substances, even prescription medication that wasn't prescribed to you. The amount does not matter. A single pill can initiate deportation proceedings. There is one very narrow exception involving marijuana. If the possession is under 30 grams and it's your first offense, there may be limited relief available. But notice how specific that is: less than 30 grams. First offense only. No prior incidents. And even then, outcomes vary by jurisdiction. Here's something else that catches people off guard. Let's say you're arrested. Your attorney negotiates a diversion program. You complete counseling. The charges are dismissed. Your record shows no conviction. You think you're safe. But during the process, you admitted possession. Immigration authorities can use that admission, even without a conviction, against you. An admission alone can trigger removal. That's why immigration advice is essential from day one in any drug-related case. Now let's move to the third major threat: domestic violence and family-related offenses. This area is extremely serious under immigration law. Any act of violence, threats, or violation of a protective order involving a family or household member can make you deportable, and family member is defined broadly. It includes your spouse, current or former, your children, including stepchildren, your partner, even if unmarried, anyone living in your household. Physical harm is obvious, but it goes beyond that: unlawful touching, blocking someone's path, verbal threats, violating a restraining order, even unintentionally. In many states, these charges are classified as misdemeanors. You might receive probation or counseling instead of jail time. But under immigration law, a domestic violence conviction can make you removable, period. Immigration judges have limited discretion in these cases. One misdemeanor can jeopardize everything you've built. Again, never accept a plea in a domestic case without immigration guidance. The fourth major threat is immigration fraud, and this one can come back decades later. Immigration fraud includes providing false information on applications, submitting forged documents, entering a sham marriage for immigration benefits, misrepresenting facts during interviews. There is no statute of limitations for immigration fraud. You could have received your green card 20 years ago, built a life, raised children, paid taxes, stayed out of trouble. But if immigration authorities later determine that your status was obtained through fraud, they can reopen your case. They can revoke your green card. They can place you in removal proceedings. This applies to every immigration form you've ever submitted. Even small misrepresentations can have severe consequences. Honesty isn't optional, it's essential. If you believe past mistakes exist in your file, consult an immigration attorney now, before issues arise. The fifth threat may seem small, but it can compound problems: failing to update your address. Green card holders are required by law to notify immigration authorities within 10 days of moving, not business days, calendar days. On its own, failing to update may not trigger deportation. But if you're ever in removal proceedings, it can be used to show non-compliance. It can hurt your credibility. It can weaken your defense. Updating your address online takes minutes. Do it every time you move. Now let's talk about the bigger picture. Immigration enforcement has accelerated. Cases move faster. Hearings are shorter. Decisions come quickly. If you're placed in removal proceedings, you may have limited time to prepare a defense. That's why prevention is critical. Here's what you should do right now. First, consult an immigration attorney immediately if you face any legal trouble. Second, be completely truthful in all immigration matters. Third, update your address promptly. Fourth, Keep detailed records of your life in the U.S. Tax returns, employment history, school records, property documents. These can be crucial if you need to demonstrate strong ties to the country. Fifth, stay informed about policy changes and enforcement trends. Sixth, address past mistakes proactively before they become problems. And finally, treat your legal status as an ongoing responsibility, not a one-time achievement. Your green card is not a finish line. It's a commitment. The reality is clear. Criminal convictions, even minor ones, can trigger removal. Drug offenses are unforgiving. Domestic violence charges carry severe consequences. Fraud can surface decades later. Administrative failures can compound other issues. But here's the empowering truth: knowledge changes outcomes. When you understand the risks, when you seek guidance early, when you stay proactive, you dramatically reduce the likelihood of losing your status. Your green card represents sacrifice, effort, hope. It deserves protection. Don't assume you're immune because you've lived here for years. Don't assume minor issues won't matter. Don't assume the system will give you second chances. If this information helped you understand what's at stake, make sure you subscribe and stay connected. Share this with anyone you know who holds legal status in the United States, because the difference between staying and leaving can come down to one uninformed decision. And remember, this video provides general information. It is not personalized legal advice. Every case is different. If you're facing any of these issues, speak to a qualified immigration attorney who can evaluate your specific situation. Your future here matters. Your family's stability matters. Your American dream matters. Stay informed, stay proactive, stay protected. And I'll see you in the next video.